Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I have been asked, I don't think I've ever been asked more to do a review on something in my entire existence, in my entire vida, todo las vidas on YouTube. That's not right. I don't know what I just said, I have to be really honest. All the lives of YouTube, I don't fucking know. Anyway, you guys, I am going to be reviewing today the new Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Foundation. This is what it looks like. This is the PR package it came in. I already soaked the beauty blender. That's why it's out of here. We have two formulas. We have the hydrating and we have the matte. This is obviously not all the shades. This is the PR package that they sent me. But before I get started on today's video, I just wanted to bring up a thing real quick. Let's talk about the elephant in the room with this. This has been under so much controversy and so much hype because of the fact that the shade range is so little. I believe there's only 15 shades and the majority of them are lighter complexion shades and there's not enough deeper complexion shades. And I completely agree with you guys 1000%. I think Tarte definitely should have launched more deeper complexion shades. I think only 15 shades is definitely not enough. When you're a brand like Tarte, people just expect a lot from you. It is what it is. Tarte, honestly, you guys should have known better, and hopefully you guys are coming out with more shades in the future and they're coming quickly, because I do think that it's unfair for I can't imagine being someone with a darker complexion seeing and really wanting to try this foundation out and not having a shade for me because of the fact that they didn't come out with enough shades and they only cater to lighter complexions. I just think it's unfair, and yes, it's not a struggle I might face, and I don't face that kind of struggle. I don't really know how it feels to have a darker complexion and to not be able to use a foundation shade because they don't have my shade, and I don't get that struggle. But I do recognize the fact that I am privileged in the fact that I do get to have my foundation shade in this foundation, and I wanted to use that privilege to at least talk about the fact that I think that there should have been more shades. It's not fair. I do recognize the fact that I am lighter complexion and it is easier for me to find my shade, and it sucks that that's like that in the beauty industry, and I feel like more brands need to cater to a variety of shades and to a variety of genders, and I'm all for equality, you know? At the end of the day, I'm for equality. That's not going to change my opinion on what I think about the actual foundation. At the end of the day, this is a foundation review on the actual quality of this foundation. I just wanted to say that and have my piece with the fact that I'm like, yo, I think there needs to be more shades. This is ridiculous that there's not enough. I'm gonna do half my face with the glowy one and half the face with the matte one. I think that would be like the most fair shot I can do with this foundation. I'm gonna wear it for the next couple hours and see what we think about the foundation. So anyways, you guys, that's what today's video is going to be. As always, if you guys don't like this video, if you guys do not like me, please don't fucking watch it. You know the drill with that. But if you guys do like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you're new, what's up? I'm MannyMua and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. But yeah, let's go and get into this Tarte Shape Tape Foundation review and demo, and let's see if it's worth the hype or not. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a hydrating foundation and we have a mattifying foundation. I'm so excited about this. Let's go ahead and go on the Tarte website and let's go ahead and read the facts about these foundations specifically. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and read about the matte one first, which is the one I'm a little bit more interested in because I have oilier skin. It is a vegan oil-free full coverage foundation with a creamy texture and modern matte finish. It provides the same full coverage as its concealer predecessor. Dries to a flawless matte finish. Concealer inspired wand. Formula absorbs oil and shine. I'm going to try the shade light, medium, neutral and see what we think. Oh, let's prime my skin. I want to give this bitch a fair shot. This is exactly I'm going to do the same routine that I usually do on my face. I'm taking the Tarte little beauty sponge that it came with. We're gonna use it. This is actually kind of a harder sponge, but it's soft at the same time. This reminds me a lot of my cult classic cake and bake sponge from Veramona. That's what it feels like. It's like hard, but it's like very dense, but it's soft at the same time. Take my little Bobby Brown. Taking Bobby. We're gonna take a smidgen of Professional by Benefit. We're gonna put that on the T-zone. Cool, we are primed and we are ready to go. We're gonna go in with the matte foundation first. We're gonna take the shade light, medium, neutral, like we said earlier. We got a huge ass dough applicator. This reminds me a lot. This honestly could be like the same as the Clinique, the Beyond Perfect foundation, I think it's called. Has like that huge ass dough applicator. Looks like this. It's very similar. That should match. We're gonna do a good couple dots. Bitch. Okay. As we're applying it, it's pretty fucking thick. This is the lightest shade they gave me, and it's still a little dark for me. So we're just gonna kind of go. It's a lot of coverage. Literally, that's one dough foot. That's just one. Okay, so as we see, it's a little yellow. Okay, we're gonna blend this in with the sponge that they came with. As we see, the coverage, it's full. It just is. The coverage is fucking there. Ooh, this is drying pretty quick. Oh, fuck, this is too dark for me. It's way too dark for me. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so it sets in pretty quickly, you guys. So you definitely wanna, usually with matte foundations, they set pretty fast. So this is half the face with the matte foundation. Let's go and take a closer look. Honestly, I think we can go in with a bit more, to be really real. I think that using it with a sponge, of course, is going to shear it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a little bit more. Also, I noticed that it seems to oxidize. It's getting a little bit darker, like as you see application wise. It's a little bit of a lighter consistency, or it's a little bit lighter of a color, but when I blend it out and it's drying, it definitely dries down to a darker finish. It's a little bit deeper for sure. I'm just noticing the oxidation, but honestly, look how pretty it looks on the skin. I would definitely apply this with a sponge instead of a brush. I think a brush would make it look like real thick. Ignore the fact that it's not my shade. Sometimes I won't get the right shade. It's fine. Shit happens. Consistency was really nice. It was very more so on the thick whipped side. It's not too liquidy, of course. It's much more on the thicker consistency. It dried down matte really fast. Like the set was quick. So let's go and go in with the light medium honey in the hydrating one. Let's go and read about the hydrating shade though. By the way, you guys, both of these are $39. Okay, this is a hypoallergenic luminous finish gel foundation featuring same iconic buildable full coverage, same as Shape Tape concealer, added boost of skin smoothing, oil-free hydration, same full coverage. It's supposed to be a weightless gel formulation, and it has hyaluronic acid in it, which means, of course, hyaluronic acid adds moisture to the skin throughout the day. So, I'm into it! Okay, it's oxidizing. This bitch is oxidizing hard. Okay guys, so Tarte did not send me the same shade for the hydrating foundation. I don't know if they have the same shade. Oh bitch. I'm sorry for what we're about to look like right now, but we're gonna have to use light medium sand. So these are the shades. These are the two closest to each other, so I'm gonna have to use those. These undertones are a little bit intense. I'm gonna actually have to go online and buy my correct shade because these are not what I expected shade-wise. Look how dark this got me, oxidized like a mofo. Anyway, that annoys me. Like, that really gets on my nerves, the oxidation. Anyway, we're gonna go and try the luminous side now. We're gonna take this, and I can definitely tell already that the consistency on this side is definitely very different. It's not as thick. It's definitely more of like a they were saying, a gel-like consistency. So I guess technically it's a little bit thinner in consistency. Bitch, these undertones, I don't really know about all that. Like, I don't know about all this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and blend it in with the same sponge. We're gonna see what we think of the coverage and the feeling of this one. As I'm blending in, this one definitely feels more lightweight. Of course, this one feels nicer. To me, I actually think this side might be a little bit too matte for me. Like, now that I'm looking at it, once it's actually set, bitch, that is like so matte. Like, I don't even need to use powder to set this side. Like, that's how intense it is. This side, I would definitely say, as we're looking at it, still gives you a nice medium to full coverage. I wouldn't say this is as full coverage as the matte side. To me, it really doesn't look like that. It definitely gives me more of a skin. Like, I can still see like my little pimple I have going on right here. I can still see some red spots around here. I'm gonna put on another layer just like I did with the other side. I mean, clearly see a difference in color, obviously. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a little bit more. But you guys see how it like blends into a different color than it applies? I don't really get that. I would say this one you can definitely apply it with like a kabuki style brush, one like this, and it will not look as heavy as the matte side would have with that kind of brush. See how well it does. I'm covering up my discoloration on my neck because I have discoloration down here. I think it has to do with my vitiligo. I don't really know, but discoloration is annoying. This applies really nicely with this kind of brush too. Okay, as we can see, this side matte as fuck. This side definitely has skin-like texture. It's very hydrating looking, and it definitely gives me a sheen to the skin. I'll actually have to set this side to last on me for sure. So at least you can see there is a very harsh real difference between both sides of the skin. This is definitely luminous, glowy, more of a skin-like finish. This is matte as fuck. I actually really do enjoy the luminous side a lot more. I'm gonna go and set both sides of the face just so I can set them and see what we actually think. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. We're already in the Tarte Shape Tape world right now. Let's take the shade Light and see how it acts with the Fang. I feel like Donald Trump on this side, honestly. It looks too orange, and the light under eye, bitch, really? Usually light works for me, but because the foundation shade is so dark on my skin right now, it's really contrasting quite intensely. Okay, actually, at least with the concealer, I feel like my face doesn't look so, like, fucked up because of how much of a contrast the shade is. Like, it's rough. I'm not living as hard as I thought I was gonna be. I really thought I was gonna live like I did for Tarte Shape Tape. Like, I really did thought it was gonna be a hard living, like living, breathing, gasping for air. But so far, the side with the luminous finish, I like so much more. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and set the face, see what we think, and we're gonna wear this for a couple hours. I'm gonna do my makeup for real. I'm gonna set my face. I'm gonna give it a real fair shot like I do any other foundation. I'm gonna put powder on both sides, see what we think, and we're gonna come back with the final verdict, seeing whether or not the foundation is a hit or a miss. So we're gonna do some powder on this. We're gonna powder both sides. I always powder my foundation, so I'm going to powder even the side that is matte. I'm going to powder it to give it a fair shot. Okay, let's go ahead and look at it now that we are set in place. I feel like the matte side is a little bit too heavy looking. It feels actually kind of heavy on the skin. This side, I really enjoy. This side, I feel is a little too heavy. And I don't know if it's me being distracted as fuck by the color, because I'm obviously very distracted by the fact that the color difference is woo! I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup now and wait in a couple hours and see what we think of both sides, which side got a little bit more oily, and we will get back to you. So it's been about I finished everything else and I ate, so it's been about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours since I first put on the foundation. So I already have a little bit of a verdict here. So this is the side, of course, this is the matte side. I sprayed it with Urban Decay All Nighter, by the way, when I finished everything. When I finished everything, I sprayed it with Urban Decay All Nighter just to melt everything together. The foundation is still looking very pretty, honestly. Like, I think this side, this side is the side with the luminous, more lightweight coverage. But the matte side, with everything said and done, I actually do like it a lot. At first I was kind of like, like I really wasn't like living for the matte side. I don't know why. I was living more for the luminous side. I just felt like it was more buildable of coverage. It was a little bit lighter in coverage, and it just looked prettier on my skin to me. Also on my eyes, if you guys are curious about the shadows I used, I'm using the Morphe 25G palette, the 25 Grand Glam. Huge ass fucking pans on this bitch. If you guys want to check it out, it's really, really cool. I love the color scheme of it. You can use code MannyMua in store or online if you want to check it out. You'd save some coin. You don't have to, of course, if you don't want to. It's all good. I just want to let you guys know that is what I'm wearing on my eyes, as well as some Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liner. Okay, guys, so anyway, I'm gonna go and wait a couple more hours and see how the foundation is settling into the skin right now. I feel like it's at a perfect point. 2 hours in, I feel like it looks really, really, really pretty, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks nice, and I don't really have too many complaints other than the color and the undertone. It's not my favorite thing. I don't really like the undertone and color of them. But anyway, I can definitely tell this side is still more luminous than this side. This side is staying a lot more matte. This side is definitely more skin-like. Ignore the highlighter. As it's settling into the skin, I think it's looking a lot more pretty. So this is the skin as close as I can really go. So we have the pores on the skin. They're not too emphasized, which I really like. This is the matte side. There's no like major creasing on my smile lines, which is a big deal to me. Not too oily. So then we have this side, and we can see that the pores definitely still are there. There's definitely more porous areas than the matte side. I feel the matte side is better at concealing the pores than this side is, but I just still feel like my skin looks prettier on this side, regardless of like the pore showing or not. I'm not mad at it right now. Like, I'm not mad at it, but we'll see how I feel in the next couple hours. So I will be back soon. What is up, you guys? Okay, guys, so I've had my makeup on for about 6 hours now. It is on, and I think I basically just have the verdict. I think I know how I think about the foundation now. I don't need to have it on for any longer for me to know how I feel about it. So right now, this is after about 6 hours of wear. It's about 6 o'clock, and I started putting makeup on at 12. So still looks pretty fucking matte. I see some oils peeking through here. Oils peeking through around my chin a little bit more here. Right here as well, there's definitely some oils peeking through in the T-zone. The dewy one is looking real dewy at this point, you know? The hydrating one is looking real hydrated. The skin is looking hydrated. This side's looking more matte. It is what it is. The claim is correct, Miss Mama. So you guys, I forgot to mention earlier that part of the new Shape Tape range, we also have this sponge. I did, of course, use it. It came with like PR package, and this brush as well. They're both part of the Shape Tape collection. Both of them, I believe, retail for $28, in case you guys are interested in that. I really liked this sponge. Wasn't the biggest fan of this brush. I'm not a huge fan of these brushes anyway, to be honest, unless it's for powder. I think powder application with this is really good. Applying this fine foundation, whether it's the matte or it's the hydrating one, is better off with a sponge. But all in all, what do I think about it? So the matte side, this is the matte side. I think it looks really pretty, and honestly, I would buy both of them. They're both approved for me. I really do like them on the face right now. I still feel like they look really beautiful on the skin. To be honest though, first impressions you guys saw earlier, I wasn't living, you know. I feel like for the color selection was bad. Not only was the color selection bad, but the undertones were just not good, and these are obviously not my color. I cannot wear these again. I'm gonna have to go and get my correct color, and it is frustrating that the undertones are so strong in these foundations, because it's just kind of like, can I just have one like that's more the most neutral, like a neutral one, not the one that's too peach, not one that's too yellow. As we all know, the arrangement of colors in general is not the best when it comes to light and deep complexions. There's not enough for deep complexions, but this foundation is $39. I think that it's a really fair price point. It's not too expensive, but it's not very cheap either. And you get 1.01 fluid ounce in here, which is pretty average for a foundation. And I think the cost of this being $39 is actually pretty fair. Over all this time, I think the matte one actually played better on my skin, which is shocking because that's the one I didn't like at all first going on. The hydrating one looks beautiful too, and I really enjoy it. I just wish I had a little bit more coverage because I had to build that one up a lot more. And the thing is too with the matte one, for me, the reason that I feel like it worked out in the end is because I do have natural oils that will seep through because I am more on the oily side. So if you're not oily at all, and even if you're dry, then I really think that you're gonna fucking hate the matte one, because I think that the reason that it even looks pretty now, or that's actually mixing in with the skin nicely, is due to the fact that my oils are seeping through. Like, honestly, just go with the fucking hydrating one. It is hydrating, it's beautiful on the skin. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Those are my opinions. I think both of them end up turning out really pretty. Both of them are a hit for me, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. All in all, will I use them again? If I get my right color down, I might use the hydrating one again. But, I don't know. It's still not my favorite foundation ever. I still like the concealer more than the foundations. And that is it, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll leave a link down below where you guys can check these foundations out. I believe they're available on Tarte's website. I'm not sure if they're available at Ulta just yet. I hope you guys had fun watching. Have a great rest of the night or day wherever you guys are. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. I love you. Mwah. I look slightly a mess. I just woke up, had a meeting this morning, came straight home filming. Great. Just what I wanted to fucking do on a Tuesday. How's my under eye look? Does it look smooth? Because, bitch, it's filled. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. No giggle. No gigs on today's video. Is it freaky? Dad.
It's cute.
Dad. Oh my god! Wait, show it on camera, Dad. Put your arm out. It's a little bird. Oh my god. What happened to it?
He was just chilling outside your door right there.
And why is he being held so calmly?
I don't know. I thought he was hurt or something, but...
Is he hurt?
I don't know.
Don't let him go. I'm scared he's gonna fly or something.
Little body.
He's so cute!
Look at him though.
Oh my god, he's the sweetest little man. Sponge instead of a brush. I think a brush would make it look like real thick. Ah! Poked my eye! Fuck, these undertones are rough. Like, they're really rough. I'm sorry, but they are. Okay, so now that we're set in place, guys, what do we think of this? Oh my god, clean it up, Coke horse shit. Oh my god, my eye itches so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's gonna... Oh my gosh, I want to itch it.